What's up? Welcome in, everybody, to the Northwest Georgia High School Football Scoreboard Show, the Al Smith Alfa Insurance High School Football Scoreboard Show. Unfortunately, I'm in an alternative place today. Last night, we had some storms come through where I live, and the lightning was pretty bad, and it eliminated some electronics. So, unfortunately, the unveiling of the Al Smith Alfa Insurance Hotline will have to wait till next week. Hopefully, we can iron it out between now and then. But it's coming. I was down in Somerville tonight to see the Lafayette Ramblers top the Chattooga 33-14. If there was a penalty to be called or a cramp to have, it happened tonight. I think that's just warm weather. It seemed like the third quarter, even the fourth quarter, after that stoppage of play at the half, it was just a cramp fest after that. But Lafayette comes away with the win. They got some backs that are shifty, and then the big guy up the middle, a couple deep throws as well. So Lafayette was able to put some points up early, took advantage of a couple turnovers, and kind of salted the game away toward the end. I do have some scores coming in. I'll take any scores that you have. I'll go ahead and go through what I have right now. I just got home, so I'm kind of just getting started. Trying with a big win tonight over Gordon Lee, 36-7. I really didn't expect it to be that wide. I know Gordon Lee had lost a lot. I've seen Tryon a couple times. I'm not sure how that game went. I didn't watch it, but that's a pretty eye-opening score for me. Another eye-opening score. I guess it shouldn't be as eye-opening because, I've been pro Bremen for a while now, and Bremen with a big 38-19 win over the Bowden Red Devils. And I know that is a huge rivalry game, and I'm sure the stands were packed for that one until, late third quarter, fourth quarter, because Bremen looked like they pulled away pretty good. Jake says, at the Central and Herd game until halftime, Ethan Tisdale is the real deal and is a dude. You don't want to hear the rest of my observations about the game. Okay. What was you said the game's still going on? What's the score? I'll jump back in. I just slide back over and go through some more scores that I got from last night. Southeast picks up a big win, 42-28 over Gordon Central. And then Ringo goes to Lakeview right up the road there and defeats Lakeview Fort Overthorpe 41-0. I'm still looking for a lot of scores. Like I said, I just got home. So Murray County and Coosa, Central and Herd, I hadn't got a final yet. I believe Fannin was beating Union. Don't know what the score was. Last I heard on Pepperell and Dade, it's kind of like 14-14. Sound like a barn burner over there. Oh, look at here. Jake Keller says Calhoun was up 21-0. Trace Hawkins got injured. Oh, man, I hate to hear that. Hopefully it's not too bad. Calhoun pulled it out 21-19, so that's a big win. Being up 21-0, I hope Hawkins kid can get back in there. I'm not sure what happened. 43-20, Herd was up, and it was 37-14 at halftime. Oh, lightning delays. Yeah, it seems like the lightning's been everywhere. The heat and all that, it's been popping off everywhere. Fourth quarter just started. Okay. looks like Pepperell wins 21-14. That's a big win. On the road over at Magic Morgan, tough place to play. Let's see. Go ahead and update some of these scores. 21-14, Pepperell over Dade. That's a good showing for Dade and Pepperell, it seems like. Let's see here. Got other comments coming in. Sorry, I'm on a borrowed computer tonight. The computer was one of the assets that was eliminated. Union. Let's see if I can find that Calhoun game and update that score. 21-19 Calhoun. So if you were at a game, chime in here. Let us hear from you. We'll talk about your game. You can talk about it, text, whatever. Dalton 35, Rockmart 21. You know, and they called us crazy when we picked Dalton to win this game. We seen something. To me, I think their defense has improved a lot, and offensively they can put up the points. Not many people scored 35 on Rockmart. Now, don't take nothing away from Rockmart. I think Rockmart is going to be a really good team come playoff time, and I think I think they're going to probably give it to some people worse than they gave to them today. It looks like it was a pretty close game, a couple scores there. I heard there were some turnovers that maybe give Dalton some short fields, and you really can't do that to a pretty good team. But I appreciate the score, Mr. Cox. Let's see here. Xavier Watts, sophomore running back for Carrollton and transfer from Carver Columbus, may already be the best running back in Northwest Georgia. You know, I've heard that name. I haven't seen him play, but I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll go back and see what he did this week. I'm sure he lit it up this week. Let's see. Trying to get everything updated here. 35-21 Dalton over Rockmart. Sorry for the silent time on here. I'm just trying to get any and all scores put in the system here. We've got a couple updated. We got a couple that are running long because of lightning delays, storms in the area. Trying to pretty much find anything we can at this moment. While I'm trying to update the scoreboard here, I'd like to give a shout out to our two main sponsors. Of course, the name sponsor on here, Alfa Insurance, Al Smith, Alfa Insurance, 706-529-6786. And an additional sponsor that we took on this year and is going to be sponsoring the Player of the Week, which we'll do on our Pick'em show, which will either be on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, is Hat Creek, Seamless Gutters and Home Improvement. See Michael Dawson at Hat Creek, 423-580-9697. 7697, excuse me. All right, flipping through here. Any other scores from around the area? Shoot them to me. I'll get it updated, and we'll go over them again here in a bit. Bunch of scores missing right now. A ton that we're looking for. A couple that we do have at this moment. Again, let's see. I'm trying with a big win. If I can get my computer to do anything. Trine with a 37-7 win over Gordon Lee, and then Bremen with a 38-19 win over Bowden. A couple scores from last night: Southeast 42, Gordon Central 28, Ringo 41, Lakeview 0. Final come in on the Pepperell Dade County was Pepperell 21, Dade 14. Central and Hurd are still, I think they just started the fourth quarter was reported. Big time delays there for Lightning. Lafayette went down to Chattooga, and that score is incorrect. It's 33-14. I'll get that updated. And Heritage, a big winner at home against North Murray, 34-14. And currently that's all I have at the moment. So we'll keep working on it. Anything that comes in, I'll try to update and get out to you. Extremely difficult to find scores. Just to update you on where all you can find us these days, we are on Twitter, Facebook. We actually have some TikToks going around. I'm sure you'll see some cut-ups of this. Also, you can catch us that night or the next day in Spotify. We have Spotify coming on now. You can listen back to the show, hear all the scores and all of that. I see a ton of fourth quarter scores here on my list. I know a lot of these have probably went final by now. Here's a final from our area. Temple, 38-21 over Osborne. See if I can't get that one updated. 38-21 Temple over Osborne. I forgot to mention the reason why I'm on by myself is because, oh, yeah, Jake Keller's let me know that same thing. All right, per Max Preps, I see Adairsville 13-0 over Harrelson. Over Sonoraville, and Harrelson 40-0 over Sardis. Okay. Northwest Whitfield 37-0 over Cola Creek, and Fannin 30-2 over Union. That's a very interesting score. Thank you, Brooks Carter, for that one. See if I can get a few of these updated. Northwest Whitfield 37-0 over Cola Creek. Uh, 13-0 Adairsville. Sorry, this is not a quick process. $13-0. Defensive battle there. Hurd, update on Hurd and Central. It's 50-20, and I would imagine it's probably at least middle to sometime late in the fourth quarter on that one. Another one here. I think I already read it, but Harrelson County 40-0 over Sardis. Let's see if I can get Harrelson updated. So many games. Harrelson was a 20-point favorite over Sardis, and they will beat them 40-0. Let's see if I scoreboard here. Cartersville, 48-0 over Hiram. And Woodland of Cartersville, 21-3 over Pope. There's got to be a couple more here. One down at the bottom here that we haven't spoke about yet. Carrollton, 55-0 over Rome. Big win for Carrollton. It was at Rome. I think Carrollton was somewhere around a 30-point favorite, and they showed their dominance tonight over Rome. Anybody else head out to a game or heard any scores, just holler at me. Dalton Citizen says 35-21 Cats over Rockmart. And also Brooks Carter says was a really good game. Dalton cornerback Gazaway had a 75-yard pick six to seal it with 30 seconds left. Sounds like it was a well of a game. Both teams super talented. They'll go nowhere but up from here. It'll be interesting to see now. I hear a lot of great things about this Cartersville team. And it'll be interesting to see how the Cats from Dalton can measure up to them. I know people are going to call me crazy. I'm not willing to pick Dalton at this point, but we're going to keep watching, see what happens here. Calhoun over Jefferson, 21-19. I heard that Calhoun's stud quarterback was injured and left the game. I don't know any status on him. Hopefully he'll be back as soon as possible. Like I said, we were planning on taking calls today and actually being on the correct equipment. And there was a pretty big lightning storm last night, and it debilitated a good bit of my equipment. And I am currently on a borrowed laptop in order to bring this to you. And I'm trying my best to get all these together and not have a bunch of downtime. But it doesn't seem to be happening. I see Cedartown 51-7. That's a big win for Cedartown over Ridgeland, 51-7. That sounds more like the Cedartown of old that I'm used to seeing. Looks like North Cobb Christian defeats Pickens 42-35. I think at one point I read where Pickens was leading that game. It sounds like it was a late charge. So 41-35, North Cobb Christian over Pickens. 42-35, excuse me. A couple others coming in. Pickens was up 28-0 and ended up losing at 42-35. Wow. Talk about a comeback. My man here asked about model. Let's see if I can find something on model. I have not seen a model score yet tonight. Model. I have model over Walker, 49-13. So big win for model there, 49-13. Great way to start the year. I kind of expected that. I was seeing Model a couple weeks ago against the Pickens team that we just talked about a few minutes ago. All right, let's see if I can give an update on everything I have at the moment. All right, some updated scores, some that I still don't have. Model 4913. I'm searching what Max Preps has. Thank you, Jake, for helping out there. I apologize for not having it. Normally, either me or Lawrence One has it raring to go. But I literally got here with about 8 minutes before. Some games from the night. Tryon with a big win over Gordon Lee, 36-7. Bremen with a 38-19 win over Bowden. Southeast Whitfield defeated Gordon Central last night in a Thursday night game, 42-28. Ringo with a 41-0 win over Lakeview. Still don't have a Murray and Coosa score. Central and Hurd, I believe, was 50-20 in the fourth. I haven't heard a Fannin County and Union score. I believe Fannin won the game, but I'm not sure what the score was. I'll find it here in a second. Pepperell 21, Dade County 14. Pepperell goes on the road and able to beat Dade County. Still looking for a Banks and Armurchie score. And if anybody was at the Darlington Christian Heritage game, I was kind of interested to see how that one went. No score on that one yet. Lafayette defeats Chattooga 33-14. Model over Walker 49-13. Pickens was up 28-0 and falls to North Cobb Christian on the road 42-35. Temple goes to Osborne and gets a 38-21 win. Rockmart goes to Dalton and suffers loss to the Cats this week, 35-21. Heritage defends home turf and beats North Murray 34-14. Also have Adairsville 13 and Sonoraville 0. I got a score coming in now. Thanks for all the help, guys. I see Christian Heritage 37-28 over Darlington. I thought that Christian Heritage would win that game, but that's about the 10-point mark or a little more. I think that's a pretty close one. Northwest Whitfield 37-0 over Coahulla Creek, and Haralson County gets a 40-0 win over Sardis. Calhoun goes up 21-0 and holds on 21-19 over Jefferson. Cedartown with a big 51-7 win over Ridgeland. I did see a Woodland Pope score earlier, but I haven't got it updated yet. I know I seen a Woodland Pope score. Woodland defeats Pope 21-3. 21-3 Woodland over Pope. Also, looking down the score sheet here, some of the others that I don't have. Looking for that Murray County Coosa score. See if I got anything on Coosa here. I got Murray County defeating Coosa 21-20. Wow, what a game. My main man Lawrence was all over that one. He picked Murray County to beat Coosa, and it happened at Coosa 21-20. Big win for the Green Indians. Man, Calhoun, 4+ starters injured by halftime, it says, including QB1 and running back 1. Man, in order to hold that off That's what I was about to say. Austin Calhoun's defense must be the real deal if they were able to stave off that Jefferson squad for the rest of the game. Gilmer with a 43-28 win over Stevens. That's a big win for Gilmer. I think we talked about on the Pick'em show that if we come back and had Gilmer winning the game, that it was going to raise some eyebrows in that region they're in. And I think that's a big win for Gilmer, 43-28 over Stevens. Let's see here. Any other games we got here? Still don't have a bunch of scores out of the big boys. I did have Carrollton 55-7 over Rome. I'm going to jump back on the scoreboard here. Try to update as many as I can. If you were at a game tonight, let us know where you was, what you saw. Any other games tonight like the one I watched with 35,000 flags? The game really slowed down late. Everybody was tired, obviously, but it's kind of sloppy at points. The scoring kind of slowed in the second half as well. All right, so I think I seen a Banks and Armurchie score. Banks defeats Armurchie 18-0. Very interesting score there, 18-0. Funny enough, the spread was 22. Fairly close. Also seen a Darlington was defeated by Christian Heritage 37-28. We will update that one. If you missed it earlier, I announced on socials, and I announced right when I first got on here that we had a lightning storm last night, and I have lost some equipment, and we were unable to do the call-in show tonight, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be able to get that ironed out by next weekend, and be excited to do the first time Al Smith, Alfa Insurance Hotline. We're going to get you on here. We're going to take your scores verbally, hear about your teams, all kind of things. Should be very exciting and very interesting to see who all we get on here. There may be one person, there may be nobody, there may be a flood of people. We'll see. Should be interesting though. So I'm going to go on down the list here, try to update some more scores. Tons of games out here today. I'm going to see if I can track down that Fannin score. Fannin County over Union County, 30-2. Very crazy. Good old safety. If anybody was at that game, let us know how it happened. I mean, safety, you don't see a whole lot of safeties, but let's see if the Central game has went final yet. No, it's still a fourth quarter game. Not final yet. Last I heard was 50-20. Got a few more comments coming in. Says, good thing Calhoun got a nice new training room and a brand new span new state-of-the-art field house recently built by a great company. Need to get healthy, yeah. I'm sure they'll be working toward that. I'm not sure who's on their schedule next week, but we'll take a look through before we get off this week's show. I agree with you, Devin. Both of those teams I knew would be tough, and I'm sure that was a well of a game. I heard it come down to some turnovers. A couple turnovers may have been helped decide that game. All right, almost got all the scores, and we'll go through there. Let's see. I'm looking for a Dawson County Lumpkin, and I've got it. Lumpkin 42-31 over Dawson County. So another high-scoring game. There's been some defensive battles, like 13-0, some blowouts, really. I mean, some high-scoring games and some defensive battles. You would think early in the year that the defense would have the advantage, but there's some offenses out there putting up some points. Getting really close to having all the scores, and then we'll go through them one last time here, and once we do that, we'll turn our attention to next week and go through all the games. A majority of the games. If you got a game next week you're looking forward to, go ahead and call them out, and we'll talk about it here in just a few minutes. Cartersville, just machine-like tonight over Hiram, 48-0. 48-0 over Hiram. I believe I read a comment earlier said Cartersville has one of the better teams that they've had in a while. Not going to bode well for other squads. Alexander was defeated. Actually, no, it's not a final. I see a weather delay on here. It's 26-20. Villa Rica was beating Alexander. Let's check out the Cass score. Cass was defeated Flowery Branch 46-27. Big win. Cass was only a 3-point favorite, and they win by much more than that. Another one of those big outputs by offenses. Cass putting up the points. Let's check on the Altoona score. We'll go down here. Altoona. I do not see an Altoona score. Do not have an Altoona score. Interesting. Let's see. Harrison. I do have an Altoona score. Harrison defeats Altoona 42-7. Harrison was a 31-point favorite. It's hard to pick against a 31-point favorite. All righty. Going on some of the bigger schools here, ones that we ain't talked about yet. Paulding County was facing off against Paulding tonight, and I got a fourth quarter score. 7-7 is the last I have on it. So we'll try to get something there. And then another crosstown rival, East Paulding at North Paulding, which was even on the pick'em. And North Paulding, it looks like let's see. It shows a fourth quarter score. I don't have a final, so I need a final on that. It shows 26-10 North Paulding on that one. And that is not a final. So everything I have right now is completed. Let's see. East Paulding 33-10. Thank you. East Paulding down on the big boy page. 33-10 over North Paulding. And that was a even game. That was a pick'em game. but that's a big win for East Paulding. Allen Head, is that Herd and Central game over yet? Been hearing a few different things. You got Rockmart Cedartown next week. The points that Cedartown put up, and I don't want to say Rockmart struggles because that ain't right, but I think that'll be an interesting game. I think Rockmart, I would, lean Rockmart right now, but that could be interesting. Bremen Harrelson, if Harrelson can hang up some points and slow down that Bremen offense, I think it could be interesting. But I would tend to favor Bremen early on that. Allen Head says 50-28 was the final, and that is the Heard County score. Heard scoring 50 points on Central. That's kind of a statement right there. I know Central lost a few players, but Central has the athletes, and with Heard putting up 50 points on them, Heard is going to be a contender, I think. They're going to be a team that you hear pretty deep in the playoffs. I think that might be one of the teams. Me and Lawrence might end up seeing Heard a couple rounds deep here. That'll be interesting. I know I'm crazy to talk playoffs. This week 1. Week 1. All right, only a few scores I don't have now. Looking for that Paulding County, South Paulding. Didn't see anything on it. I do think I have the Alexander Villa Rica. It's not a final. Alexander and Villa Rica in a delay. It's 26-20. Villa Rica. And then a couple other scores I'm looking for. A team we hadn't talked about yet tonight, Mount Zion. I'm looking for that Mount Zion and Calvary Christian score. I think I've seen the Mount Zion score. I do not see the Mount Zion score. I do see the Mount Zion score. 34-19. Mount Zion defeats Calvary Christian. Another 30-plus point output by another squad. Lots of points tonight. Lots of points. All righty, let's see if we can get an update in here, run across what we have. He said, Jake's saying, you don't want to hear my observations on the game, especially Heard smaller defensive line dominating Central's O-line and Heard smaller offensive line dominating Central's D-line. Heard won the trenches. Well, as a big guy myself, I'll say when you win the trenches, it's odd that you don't win the game. Thompson here. Merlin Thompson, Lafayette 33-14 over Chattooga. A big first win for Lafayette. We'll look and see who they play next week. I look at Lafayette and look at that schedule, and I think they can compete with a lot of teams on that schedule. All right, still looking for a few scores, but I've got the majority of them. We'll jump in here. First official time to jump in to the Al Smith Alfa Insurance Scoreboard. And we'll go through here. We had a big win for the Trine Bulldogs to start the season, 36-7 over Gordon Lee. The Bremen Red Devils 38-19 over Bowden. Last night, Southeast Woodfield defeated Gordon Central 42-28. Ringo over Lakeview 41-0. Murray County in a close one over Coosa 21-20. Heard County defeats Central 50-28. Fannin over Union County 30-2. Pepperell goes to Magic Morgan and pulls one out against Dade 21-14. Banks County goes to Armurchie and wins 18-0. Christian Heritage defeats Darlington 37-28. Lafayette over Chattooga 33-14. Mount Zion defeats Calvary Christian 34-19. Model over Walker 49-13. North Cobb Christian defeats Pickens 42-35. Temple over Osborne 38-21. Gilmer 43-28 over Stevens. Dalton 35-21 over Rockmart. Heritage 34-14 over North Murray. Sonoraville is blanked by Daresville 13-0. Lumpkin defeats Dawson 42-31. Northwest Woodfield defeats Coahulla Creek 37-0. Harrelson blanks Sardis, Harrison County that is, 40-0 over Sardis. Calhoun holds on to defeat Jefferson 21-19. Cedartown's offense explodes for a big win over Ridgeland 51-7. Woodland of Cartersville defeats Pope 21-3. Cartersville defeats Hiram 48-0. Last score we had, it was in a delay. Villa Rica was defeating Alexander 26-20. Cass over Flowery Branch 46-27. Harrison over Altoona 42-7. Do not have a score for the Paulding County South Paulding. Still looking for that one. I'm sure we'll get it and update it maybe after the show. East Paulding defeats North Paulding 33-10. And Carrollton goes to Rome and puts 55 big ones on the Rome Wolves, 55-7. Carrollton over Rome. And that wraps up pretty much all of our games for this week. We'll take a quick look ahead at next week, and then we'll get off here. Don't forget to join us for the Pick'em Show. We'll also have the Player of the Week. We have a bunch of candidates. If you want to nominate somebody, that'd be awesome. Send us a message. Facebook, Twitter, wherever. We don't have a MySpace, but if you're old school, hit us up, and either me at B. Burge or at Northwest Georgia Football. You can comment on their page. You can tell us pretty much any way you want. We will we'll get to looking up the person that you put out there, and we'll see if they could be the Player of the Week. It'd be the first ever Player of the Week. Be from week 1, the Hat Creek Seamless Gutters and Home Improvement Player of the Week. So I'm going to take a look at next week's schedule. We'll go through and talk about some of the games that stand out, and then we'll jump on off here. So we're going to start in the lower classification, A, and I'm sure there'll be a few games there that kind of stand out for next week. A lot of games have been played on Thursday, not too many in this area. I think there were 2 this week. Looking over the single A schedule for area. I hadn't seen a soul. Taylor County will be at Mount Zion Model will be at Trine. That should be a very interesting game. Both getting wins tonight. Callaway will be at Bowden. Bowden defeated tonight by Bremen. Going on down the list, I think that's going to be everybody in a single A level in the Northwest Georgia area. We'll jump up to 2A. I think I saw a comment here that Dade County, let's see here. Where's that comment at? Bremen, Haralson County next week. Rockmart, Cedartown next week. If you're asking me if I can see the words, can you see my post? Yes, I can see them. All righty. 2A next week. Some of the games that jump out. Walker is at Armurchie. Both teams looking for their first win. Fannin will be on the road at Gilmer. Both got big wins today. That should be a very interesting game. Landmark Christian will be on the road at Christian Heritage. The North Cobb Christian team that was able to defeat Pickens will be at Pepperell next week. Bremen will be at Haralson County. Lakeview, Fort Overthorpe, and Cahola Creek will battle it out, both teams looking for their first win. It's only game 2, so it's extremely early. Ridgeland will be on the road at Gordon Lee. Dade will be at Lafayette. That should be a very interesting game to watch. I think both of those teams could easily win that game, I think. Darlington at Mount Parham Christian. And I don't know who Clarkston is, but they will have the pleasure of going to play the Heard County Braves. They look to be rolling at this point. Model will be at Rome, at Trine. Model and Rome is a little bit of a classification difference. Model at Trine next week. Don't know yet, but there's a good chance that's where I will be at Model and Trine. That should be a good game. Let's flip it over to 3A. There are a few Thursday games. I didn't see many from the Northwest Georgia area. We're going down through here. Southeast Whitfield and Murray County, both teams 1-0 and looking to go 2-0. That should be a very good game. Going on down the list, Columbia is at Carrollton. Bremen and Haralson we've already mentioned. Cedartown at Rockmart. So that's that crosstown rivalry. No, I think it might have a little more teeth this year. I think it's been one-sided. Let's see. Union County will be at White County. Going on down the list here, there's a couple we've already brought up. Heritage and Ringo. I've never been to the Heritage and Ringo game. It looks like both teams were very successful week 1. Lawrence has told me that it's a treat that they fill out the stands. You better get there early if you want a parking spot or a seat. So I'm tempted. I'm tempted to travel up there next week. See if any more comments coming in. Calhoun's upcoming schedule says GAC week 2, Troop week 3, Dalton week 4, Northrop County week 5. Dang, Murderers Row there. Gainesville and Beaufort on ESPN tomorrow. If you're looking for a game, that'll be interesting. We talked about it earlier. Bremen and Haralson County, Rockmart, Cedartown. I appreciate it, man. That's he says, great job in such unusual condition. Thanks for keeping us informed. Yeah, just doing the best I can to try to get the scores across. And I promise we're going to improve as the season goes. but I appreciate the nod. Going down through here and look at some of the other games coming up. Looks like Cartersville will be hosting Mount Zion. Dyersville will be at Woodland. Both teams got a win today. We're going to have a lot of 1-0 teams playing each other. Of course, I guess that happens when it's week 2. Going on down the list, I think we already mentioned Ridgeland at Gordon Lee. East Forsyth will be over at Dawson County. Dalton, right up the road at Northwest Woodfield. That will be a fun one. Lumpkin County over at Pickens. That will be one. I would probably lean Pickens early. They just, I don't know. I didn't see a whole lot of Lumpkin, so I can't really say that with a lot of confidence. But jump on up to 5A. A lot of these games are crossover games. You'll see like 1A teams playing 3A teams and vice versa. But up in 5A, anything new that I see, I will announce. Villarica at Hiram. I know we didn't bring that one up yet. Sprayberry will be on the road at Cass. 2 1-0 teams there. Cass with a big point production tonight with a win over Flowery Branch. Let's see here. Benedictine, big-time school down in South Georgia, went down tonight. They'll host Hebron Christian next week. I just pointed that out because you don't see many losses from Benedictine. Altoona will be at Lassiter next week. Tucker will be on the road at Rome. Rome trying to bounce back from the events of the evening. And so on and so forth. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Well, the group's got an 8 a.m. tea time. I am not sold on whether or not I'm going to make it, but I appreciate it again. And Lawrence will be back next week, so I definitely need the star of the show. But check us out. We will be back on next week. We'll pick all the games like we always do. We're also going to do our best attempt, good Lord willing, to roll out the Al Smith Alfa Insurance High School Football Hotline. We want to talk to you. We want to give you an opportunity to talk about the players, the coaches, the teams in a positive way. If you're negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer, then you're probably not going to last on the phone lines too long because we're not here for that. And we appreciate Al Smith for being one of our main sponsors. Go see him for all your home, auto, and life insurance needs. And our new sponsor for the year, Hat Creek Home Improvement or Seamless Gutters and Home Improvement. Call Michael Dawson, 423-580-7697. All right, guys. I'm going to jump off here, and hopefully we'll get our setup going for next week. And I'll tell you what, let's roll back through the scores one more time, and I will sign off. Tryon defeats Gordon Lee 36-7. Bremen over Bowden 38-19. Southeast Woodfield defeated Gordon Central last night 42-28. Ringo over Lakeview 41-0 last night as well. Murray County over Coosa 21-20. Hurd defeats Central 50-28. Fannin over Union 30-2. Pepperell holds on over Dade 21-14. Banks County over Armurchie 18-0. Christian Heritage defeats Darlington 37-28. Lafayette defeated Chattooga 33-14. Mount Zion over Calvary Christian 34-19. Model all over Walker 49-13. North Cobb Christian trounces back and beats Pickens 42-35. Temple over Osborne 38-21. Gilmer holds off Stevens County 43-28. Barn burner at Dalton. Dalton over Rockmart 35-21. Heritage defeats North Murray 34-14. Daresville blanks Sonoraville 13-0. Lumpkin over Dawson County 42-31. Northwest Whitfield 37-0 over Cahulla Creek. Harrelson County 40-0 over Sardis. Calhoun holds on against Jefferson 21-19. Offensive explosion for Cedartown 51-7 over Ridgeland. Woodland defeats Pope 21-3. Cartersville over Hiram 48-0. I had a second half score in a delay. Last I seen Villarica 26-20 over Alexander. Cass defeats Flowery Branch 46-27. Harrison defeats Altoona 42-7. Still looking for a Paulding County South Paulding score. Hadn't seen anything on that. East Paulding defeats North Paulding 33-10. And Carrollton defeats Rome 55-0. All right, guys, I appreciate it. It is almost midnight here in the Eastern time zone, and we'll see you next week.
We here at Northwest Georgia Football would like to thank you for watching. Please join us again soon.